How's it going, Lock Nation? It is so good to see you. I am so glad to be here. I'm thrilled because, as you can probably tell from the thumbnail or the title of this video, we're going to be reacting to some awkward dance photos because, let's face facts, high school was awkward. It was so awkward. And honestly, I thought in my mind, what better way to kick off a great new holiday season than reacting to some awkward awkward dance photos that I found on Reddit. So without further ado, let's get into it and let's see these awkward photos because they are awkward. I remember this one. So full disclosure, I did choose these because I thought they were so awkward. But like, look at this. Look at this guy, like right, you know where I am. Look at him, like it's so awkward. Like, it's look at her face, then look at him. Like, it's so awkward. Can you imagine, this guy, years down the road when he's married, he has kids, and his kids are like, "Dad, let's see your awkward dance photos." And he shows them this. He shows them that. First things first, the guy looks like he's constipated, and she just looks super uncomfortable. And man, it's just, I feel bad for both of them in this. It's so awkward, man. Dance photos were awkward. I have some awkward dance photos that I might be willing to share with you, the Lock Nation, if you're willing to see them. Or I feel like we need to get this video to a certain number of views and likes in order for me to even show those, because I only went to one dance during my high school time, and it was my senior prom. So if you want to see those, you're gonna have to get this video to so many views and likes in order to see that. But let's go on to the next one. I want to open this up just a little bit because, look at this. I feel bad for the girl because the guy's looking right down at her chest. He's looking right at her chest, and I just want to say, like, dude, her eyes are up here. Like, but he's looking, he knows what he wants. He knows what he wants. Now, unfortunately, there probably was never another date after this. More than likely because she probably felt really uncomfortable with him just staring down at her chest. And honestly, like, I'm not married or have kids yet, but like, if I saw my future kids' photos, like, especially if I have any daughters, and the guy was like looking at my daughter's chest, I was like, okay, you're never gonna be seeing this boy ever again. Unless he redeems himself somehow, it's just not gonna happen. Oh, that poor girl. It's gonna be haunting her for the rest of her life. Next one. Okay, you can definitely tell that this has to be from the South because of the fact that they have a gun in the photo. Like, this is something I picture like down in like South Carolina or Georgia or Virginia, or even just Florida in general, or even Arkansas for that matter. Because and you can tell like that those two are madly in love. They're probably boyfriend and girlfriend. But why'd you have to bring the gun? Like, when I was in high school, that would not have been allowed. This would not have been allowed. The gun would not have been allowed. They would have said, "Oh, heck no," and they would have kicked whoever it was out of the dance. My senior prom, we had it at a conference center. Do you think that you would have really gotten away with even having a prop rifle in a conference center? That's a big fat no. Like, you don't do this. Like, all right. Oh, that's just awkward. Can you imagine sharing that to your kids? Like, look at this. This is me and your mom at our prom. Look how cool you are. And then the kids were like, "Dad, why does mom have a gun?" Right? All right. Next one. Okay, so when I saw this one, I couldn't help but laugh because honestly, like, you can tell this is either from late 80s or early 90s because this was the trend. You had the guys had the bowl cuts, and they also had the shag hair, and just, it was probably a pretty cool photo at the time, but I don't know if they, and actually they even have this is definitely an 80s one because they have the mullets. And it's not just a bowl cut, it's a mullet. The guys have mullets. Guys, come close. When you do a photo session with your date for like a dance or even your future spouse, don't do mullets. Look, as a photographer, I always have pondered and questioned why people think that mullets are a good idea, because honestly, I remember even back in high school, like the last week of senior year, when guys would, they'd grow their hair out like all year long and then they'd cut it and they'd turn it into a mullet for like the last 2 or 3 weeks of senior year. And they even had the little rat tail, some of them did, and it drove me nuts. I just thought, that's so tacky. I've never understood the whole mullet thing. So guys, look, do it for your future spouse or your date or whoever it is you're taking photos with. Don't do a mullet. That's just awkward. All right, next one. This one's definitely from the early 90s. I mean, this guy's a player. I mean, he has 2 dates. Like, I'm impressed. Like, I would have never dreamed of taking 2 girls to a dance. I mean, the fact that I only went to 1 dance tells you about one thing, and it was a dance that I felt like I needed to go to because I hadn't gotten any dances. And oh man, I mean, this guy, he's a player. I mean, he looks like a boss too. Like, it looks pretty boss. But I mean, I'm impressed because he has one thing I just noticed is that if you look at his tie, it's a pink tie, which matches the girl to the left, that matches her pink dress. And the girl on the right has a white dress, and he's wearing a white suit. So, I mean, this guy was playing both fields. Like, I mean, more power to him. I would not have felt comfortable in, like, dancing with 2 different girls. It just, I mean, I would have felt like I was 2-timing is what I'm saying. But that's an awkward photo. I mean, but look at his hairdo. Like, look at this guy's hair. Like, this is definitely early 90s. This is definitely early 90s. Like, man. I mean, props to him, though. Oh, goodness. All right, next one. Okay, so when I chose this one, let me enlarge it for you real quick. I chose this because it looks like 2 sets of twins went on a dance date with 2 sets of twins. Now, I mean, that's pretty cool. Like, I mean, I've heard of stories where like people get married, like where 2 guys that are twins, they find 2 girls that are twins, and they all get married. And like, I mean, that's weird to me. Like that's just weird. But I mean, I've heard it happen. But I want to point out a few things to this. The kid in the front with the blue tux looks so unhappy. He looks like, I should say, they all look unhappy. I mean, but it just looks such an awkward photo. Like, I mean, this is something that I would picture, like, getting in like the 90s. Actually, this is probably around early 2000s when I was in high school. That's probably when this was taken. But really, like, I mean, it just looks they don't look happy. The guy in front, he's holding his hands like this. You think that since they're at a dance, he would be holding his date's hand or something. I mean, the other guy, he has his hand on her waist side. I mean, props to him, but he doesn't look, none of them look happy. Like, it's just so awkward. Like, high school dances were awkward. Oh, oh my gosh. Oh, I don't even need to enlarge that to see, like, you guys can definitely see, like, how awkward this is. Actually, I will enlarge it because I want to show you guys a closer up view of their, hang on one sec. Look at the awkwardness of his face and her face. I had a few technical difficulties right there for a sec. I mean, they probably are boyfriend and girlfriend, but they don't look happy, do they? Like, I mean, shoot, if I married any of the girls that I was interested in high school, I wouldn't be happy right now. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I mean, yeah, they were great girls, but you know, 9 out of 10 times you don't end up marrying someone from your senior class or someone that you went to high school with. But anyway, they're just, that's so awkward, man. All right, next one. Oh my gosh, look at this. Why are all these photos so awkward? I don't understand this. Like, it's the mere fact that they're so awkward. The guy has the face, he doesn't even think he looks like he doesn't even want to be there. And the girl to his left she looks like she doesn't want to be there. And the girl on the right looks like she was kind of forced to be there. So, I mean, oh man, the things you find on Reddit, especially when it comes to awkward dance photos, because this is just, I mean, if you're on a date with a girl, you should be smiling, especially like if you're interested in the girl, like you're thinking in mind, man, I'm on a date with this girl. Like, this is amazing. Even as a photographer, I always have to tell people, I'm like, okay, you gotta smile. Like, you gotta actually look like you actually care about each other. Because I would have been really frustrated as the photographer taking this if they were all giving those faces. I just thought in my mind, like, I mean, the one on the left, she looks like she's about to choke the guy. Like, she's about to grab his tie and just like, you're gonna choose me over her no matter what. I don't care. Like, it's just awkward. Oh, and that leads us to, and that was the final one. So honestly, guys, like, I'm willing to show you my awkward senior prom photos, but you have to get this, let's say we get this video to about 2,000 likes, and I will show you. 2,000 likes, and I'll show you, I'll put it in the community tab. I will put them in the community tab, and it's gonna be the most, you're gonna see the awkward side of me. Like, if you thought the first few videos on this channel were awkward, I was even more awkward in high school. Killdeer can attest to this because he knew me in high school. He knew that I was a quiet dude. And even after high school, I was still a quiet dude. And it was partially because of him helping me to gain confidence in myself to even talk to girls that I'm as outgoing as I am now. So with that being said, I will see you in the next video.